Welcome to the Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. My name is ZiLLY, aka Ravine. I'm joined by my co-host, Fresh and Deezy. Gentlemen, good to see you on this Friday afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. Listen, I don't think these bitches went to space.
I don't believe it either, dude.
These hoes didn't go to space.
And listen. Let's say everything happened as is. As they tell us, they didn't really go to space. Let's be honest.
They went to the lower atmosphere.
They went as far as you can go and get as close to space and call it space without actually, going to space.
Well, that is kind of technically what they did, anyways, right? Like they are just in low Earth orbit. They are not in outer space, right? Like it looks like space. Like you're up there and you're like, oh shit, bro, you can see the edge of the marble, dude. Like, but you're still technically like being held by Earth's inertia.
Right. Yeah. All right. So let me just read real quick. If you don't know what we're talking about out there, talking about Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's SpaceX competitor, rocket ship company. They're also trying to go into space. We'll get into why maybe we think everybody's trying to get to space in a little bit. But here's what happened. It says on April 14th, 2025, Blue Origin launched its NS-31 mission with an all-female crew, including Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos' babe, reaching 66.5 miles above the Earth, past the Kármán line, is what it says. This flight, the first all-female crew since 1963, was celebrated as a milestone for women in space. However, some ex-posts and discussions raised doubts about its authenticity, citing a visible door gaffe during the flight and the lack of re-entry burn marks on the capsule, though the FAA has not confirmed any issues. All right, so let's get into it. Before we even get into all this, the actual ship and all this stuff, you telling me that Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Bezos' babe.
Who the fuck is Katy Perry, bro?
Yeah, why do you keep calling her that, dude? You did that before the show too.
I call her Catty because she catty.
Is it because she's hot and she's cold?
She's catty. That's all I gotta say.
She's catty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She all monarch butterflied out.
The funniest joke I heard about this whole thing is that she finally knows what it feels like to be a plastic flag blowing through the wind.
God. Oh my gosh. Another thing I saw that was pretty funny is like when they're all in space, they're all just staring at the camera, making content. Like you're going all the way to space and you're making fucking content. You're not looking out the window. You're not like, whoa, this is crazy.
Are you christening that blunt?
No, I'm pretending it's a daisy and that I'm Katy Perry.
Oh. By the way, Backwoods, if you want to sponsor us, we sent you an email. Please hit us back. Stop being stingy with the sponsorships. Me and Fresh use your products religiously, so would appreciate that.
Listen, where are they hit with the tariffs? Backwoods
they're
tariffs or not?
They're from Dominican Republic, bro. So I think we're good. I think we're good there.
Equal. Yeah, so there's no excuse, Backwoods. You can't blame tariffs for not sponsoring us. All right. And by the way, you should sponsor us anyway. Show goodwill to the country that supports your company, the United States and Canada. Anyway,
no, just send it. Just the states. Just the states. Canada doesn't exist. There is no Canada.
Listen,
I shouldn't even be showing my back.
Oh, Canada.
Listen, Backwoods. I'll tell you what. You sponsor us, we'll send the first Backwoods blunt into space. The first hot boxing in space will be the three of us being.
Bro, if Backwoods would sponsor me to go up in the Blue Origin and smoke Ush weightlessly, oh my god.
Oh shit, bro. That's next level.
Oh,
I would join
my
you guys.
God.
I would have to join you guys in that venture.
Bro, you would have no choice. I'm glad you consent because you'd be coming up in a fucking straitjacket.
I would sneak I would sneak some DMT up there and sneak
gosh.
that into the blunt.
Bro, you got
We're
to
just
you
gonna
got to
get
get high.
trashed.
Like everybody hits the DMT vape just before launch. So when you get up there, you're like,
We talked about hoes in space. Now it's bros in space.
that's it. Fuck Blue Origin, man.
All right, back to these ladies. Look, they're lovely young ladies.
Look, I got a
Well,
I got
well,
a
not all
video.
of them,
I got a
but-
clip for you, bro. I got a clip. You want to
All
see?
right, let's see.
Want to see what
Let's
they produced?
Let's see. It.
Here's the
No,
oh,
Deezy.
shit. No, I did the thing.
Deezy.
I did the thing. God
we
damn
did
it.
we have a new thing. All right.
We have a new. It's all right. This is a live video. People understand. This is what these bitches were doing out in space.
I mean, it's cute. Come on.
Bro, you have 5 minutes in space. This is what you're doing?
I mean, they're looking. You know, they're in space. But
The people that actually
I got you, Flynn. Gotcha.
it does go to show that it doesn't
that a
matter if you're in
butterfly?
fucking space. If a camera is available, women will
Balloon.
flock
You
to
guys,
it.
I have to tell you.
Was
look
that
at
a
the moon.
butterfly plushie?
That's
Is
amazing.
it? Oh man,
Wow, look at the blue line. Oh my God.
they're looking. All right, I give them credit. They're not all. They're not. Damn. All right.
all they got to start doing is twerking, bro, and then
Oh my God.
Working in space.
there's the butterfly.
I mean, to be fair, Katy Perry,
That's amazing.
Miss Katy, has been
All right.
messing around butterflies for a while now. So I don't know.
Bro, that's a big monarch.
Mm. I know that the Monarch program
The
making her eye go
monarchy?
one direction.
The
and back.
monarchy.
All right, listen. So apparently, so you just saw the footage out there, everybody. I mean, you tell me, does that look real, or is it staged?
I don't know, bro. Like from the journals of people who have officially been to space from NASA, they say that seeing the Earth from outer space is like a breathtaking moment. Like when you see it from outer space, it's like you can't even talk. It's so beautiful. There's a psychological moment when you look at the Earth from outer space. And these bitches look like they don't even really care. Like they're like, oh my God,
Yeah,
it's
but
so
like,
pretty.
are they even there, brother? Like, are those women even inside there?
I mean,
Like, you would have to be kind of conscious to be like, yo, this is so beautiful. Like, these people think there's nothing more beautiful than themselves.
so that's the question: is have we gotten to okay? So let's assume that they did go. Like they literally are in outer space. This is all real. They're in outer space. It's a little weird, man. I don't give a fuck about no camera. I'm out looking out the window going, holy shit, this is unbelievable. Like I'd be in awe. Like you're saying, Deezy, I'd be in awe. I'd be like, because
There's actually like a documented experience that happens to people when they get sent into space, that like they cannot take their eyes off of the Earth and they are like quiet. Everybody is quiet and they can't even believe like their eyes. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be it's like a heavenly experience, you know. It's transcendental, but you're aware. You're not on drugs or anything. You're literally, imagine astral projecting, right? But now you're awake. You know what I mean? It's like you're there. You're
It's literally called the overview effect. It's a thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Look, the psychological phenomenon experienced when seeing Earth from space is called the overview effect. This is a cognitive shift characterized by a profound sense of awe, interconnectedness, and responsibility for our shared planet. It often leads to a greater appreciation for Earth's delicate balance and a renewed commitment to its well-being. But like, I mean, the main thing is about awe and wonder. Like these people didn't like.
They didn't look odd.
There was minimal awe. Yeah, they were looking at the camera.
Oh my God, look at the blue line.
Like, oh my God, it's so pretty.
But Kent is a human person who has, who is self-obsessed. Can they overcome that effect when they go into space, or is it something that's so
They
profound?
No, it should be something so profound that like it breaks all of your fucking things, because you got to
It's brain
understand that like
breaking. It happens to everybody. that
less
does.
less than 0.5% of people will ever see the Earth from space. They are a very lucky group of individuals, and that's if it doesn't become commercial for a cheap price. There's not gonna be everyone that has fucking 30-50 racks to go into space on like when they get this to like 40 people, when they can send like
Well,
40
to this
people
day, it's
into
only
space.
118 women who have ever gone to space. Ever.
Oh wow.
So out of the 118, these are what, 6 of them or 8 of them or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
6.
Like,
yeah.
And for them to be the only people documented to ever go up and not have this happen to them, like the overview effect happen to them, like,
Well,
I
that's the
don't
thing
know
is,
if
like,
I believe
is
they're
there a full?
psychologically broken.
I haven't seen the full live. Is there like a full live stream from beginning to end? That's another thing that I think is an issue with this. Is there a full stream from inside of the capsule from when they launch to when they're in space? Because I want to see that.
From what I've seen, and again, I haven't seen. We'll have to look and see. But and if somebody can look for it now. But from what I've seen it launch, and there was one video that looked really fake, but I saw another one that looks a little more convincing. But there's a launch. I have not seen any video footage of them in the capsule during launch, and I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't know, but there's no footage of them in the capsule during launch. So that's one thing that's not there. There is footage of them returning to Earth in the capsule and landing, but there's a couple of things about this. Like when they land back, there's a couple of things that are weird. The number one thing I think is what we saw with the what do you call it? The door. So there's a door controversy on this capsule. I don't know if you have the video footage, Deezy, right there. All right, let's put it up. Let's take a look.
Her mouth, but really her heart. When
And
she's,
is
All
that
right.
what's going to come
Look
out
at
of
they're
Okay,
down.
so-
They landed.
out of her,
Okay.
The door
her mouth,
opened.
but
Look at
really her
that.
heart.
It's
And is
very
that- is
visibly
that
open.
Jeff Bezos
Yeah.
out there right by the capsule?
Right?
Kind of hard to see.
That is
And then
So
look
does
at, and
Jeff
he's like,
Bezos
"Here we
just
go.
open
Like
the
we're gonna
hatch.
open it." And he uses this fucking tool to open it.
The tool didn't even work, bro. He didn't even get the tool in the hole.
Okay, so basically what we saw is that they were opening the door from the inside. When they landed, there's a little bit of a crack and they're opening the door, and then the lady that was supposed to open the door or whatever with Bezos, basically they had to wait and they had to close the door real quick. And then he still tries to open it even though the door is already open. So one or two, it's one of two things in my mind. It's either, if I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, the maximum benefit of the doubt, it's the door malfunctioned upon impact, and they were embarrassed because they realized the door malfunctioned.
I actually have a more plausible scenario for you.
Okay, if we're giving them the
let's-
benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, like if I'm giving these people the benefit of the doubt, they
They
came,
have it.
they
they have a
opened
handle.
it. Hold on. So they came, they opened it because they have to check the safety of the people that landed.
Okay.
Then they closed it for the PR shot.
Okay. That might be.
That seems the most plausible for
Yeah.
me. Like I
Okay,
don't know
okay.
that it makes.
That's what.
actual
Listen,
sense.
that's what they're gonna say. I guarantee you, that's probably what they're gonna say. Like, look, all right, what you guys saw was us reopening the door, but when they first landed, we checked to make sure that no one was injured upon landing, and then we took a video of us opening the door. That's gonna be their fucking cop out.
Look, I mean that's fair because, like, listen, you don't want to open that door and fucking Katy Perry's, arm is like
Someone
broken
had a
or some
heart
shit.
attack or something,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, someone died.
Yeah, Gail's Oprah age, right?
Right. Shout out Gail King.
All right, that's another
Yeah,
thing.
you don't want Gail to be fucking, I don't know.
You got
I mean,
Grok
yeah.
up, right, Silly?
What's that?
You said you have Grok up here.
I have it in front of me. Yeah, sure. What?
Ask it how what are the G forces you experience leaving there?
It said 3 to 4 G's, both ways.
3 to 4 G's.
Yeah. Can a woman of her age withstand? Or any
No,
woman
ask it something more plausible. Like what kind of G forces do you experience on like a roller coaster?
Okay, let's see.
I'm just trying to bring it to something that like is here on Earth that everyone has experienced. That would
on a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Let's see. No, dang it. Apple. Okay. I got to make a public service announcement.
It's the same. It's the same thing, bro. A high
It's the
thrill
same?
roller coaster can actually hit up the 4 to 5 Gs, sometimes 6 Gs, and then spacecraft's re-entry is between 4 to 8 Gs.
4 to 8
Most
Gs.
shuttle re-entry is 4 to 5.
Okay.
But see, this is the problem. We're not measuring, like, this is not Blue Origin, which is not quite in space. This is shuttle re-entry.
Right.
Coming, you know what I'm trying to
No,
say?
I
So-
get it.
But let's just say
the
it's
escape
like
velocity is this like the velocity that it takes to get the rocket to that point is going to
It's
be
3 to
almost the same as like if you were trying to completely leave the Earth.
yeah. So it's like 3 to 4 Gs is like escape velocity, I believe.
Okay. I mean, my thing is always just when you launch people into space, you got to be like an astronaut that's highly trained that like goes through all those. I mean, that was always my perception, like underwater, whatever shit, and like, you know, weightlessness and like all this. There's all this training. I guess that's not the case. I guess anybody can do when you go in as high as they did. Maybe you can, you know, you can do a little less training and enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't.
Well,
that's what I have
look
to
at
understand.
what they're doing is if this is real, right? If this is actually real and they're actually sending people into low orbit, then what they're doing is paving the way for commercial flights to space and then the moon. Remember when we had our interview with Michael Sartain dropping soon? Keep a lookout. We talked a little bit about the moon landing and yeah, I mean, well, I had to plug the Michael Sartain.
No. I mean, I'm just thinking about what he said, and man, it's gonna make some people mad. It's quite the blue pill take, but I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, he laid it out, so you guys decide. But no, I mean, listen, I think it is possible. The only thing is, I would have to know how much training really goes into these types of flights, and did they do the training? You know?
Okay, so here's the thing, bro. What are we talking about for training? Like just getting your body ready to be in space? Because they didn't do anything on the flight. They also had an all-female flight crew. They were just passengers, right? So like, were we? And again, now we also just learned that roller coasters actually are more G forces than what they were exposed to. Like the high thrill coasters are more G forces than Blue Origin takes to get to where it gets in space. So if that's the case, and the whole trip is 11 minutes,
right?
I think I could ride a roller coaster for 11 minutes, brother. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just up and down. They're not doing anything. Like even learning safety protocol is likely put this fucking helmet on and prepare for the worst, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're not trained in anything. So how strict and whatever would that really be?
Right. I mean, you know, when they got back to the ground, Katy Perry, got out and kissed the ground. So she was happy to be back. She may have been, you know, putting on a happy face for the you know, for the content, but it looked like she was pretty happy to be back. She got out and started kissing the ground. So, you know, who knows? So, okay. All right. You know, I take it back. Ladies, y'all went to space. I'm going to cheers y'all. Cheers to going to space. Wait.
No, before
wait. All right.
Before you continue with the cheers, can we talk about the conspiracy breakdown of like the satanic symbolism in their patches?
Oh shit. All right, let's get into it.
There's a video I'm trying to find, which I could search for live on air, but you know, if you look and you flip their patch upside down,
oh my goodness,
star, and then if you take these letters, I guess like the letters mean something. Hold on, I need to find a video. Give me a second.
All right, while you're searching, well, all right, assuming Baphomet was not involved in this jump into space. All right, Ferocity, you know what? Cheers to you. I'm cheersing him, all right? Even if Baphomet did deliver them, I'm just saying.
Why
Like,
did you
You're
kiss the
cheersing
ground, bro?
ferocity. Yo. All right, Boza. Cheers, brother. It's your only cheers you're ever getting.
I'm just
Bro,
saying. Even look, just because
They
I'm a
launched
Satanist doesn't mean I didn't go into space.
a bunch of women into space and a giant dick, bro. And when she got back to Earth, she kissed the ground.
Listen, I'm just saying, just because you a Satanist in a penis ship and you went to space and came back down, maybe talk to the aliens up there that Buzz Aldrin and those guys saw. Even if you did that, you still went to space. So I'm gonna toast you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been to space. So good on you, ladies. Good on you, Katy Perry. Good on you. And and who's next?
It's funny because when you look it up, like I tried to find the names of the other people just like by using Google, not by using AI, and it's like Katy Perry, Gayle King, and 5 other ladies. It's like,
and these other bitches out here.
who's the other bitches?
Well, Lauren Sanchez, Oh, okay, so Ferocity is saying that I'm assuming he, she, I don't know. Are they? I'll just say they to be safe.
That's he, man.
That's
That's
a
the
he.
homie, Boza.
Oh,
God
okay.
damn it, Deezy.
Deezy,
Sorry,
what are you
dude.
doing,
My
bro?
God.
Golly.
StreamYard. Get your shit together, StreamYard. You fucking sons of bitches. Listen, dude.
It's always
I'm
StreamYard's fault.
I'm just trying to do my thing over here.
All right, we got.
Oh God, I'm muted.
By the way,
Hold
you
up.
think NS31 is just some random letters and numbers? Got to talk about this. My name's Nightfall, by the way. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only. As we all know, this isn't just a random symbol either. So unfortunately, N is the 14th number in the alphabet and S is the 19th. 14 plus 19 is 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. Did you happen to notice who all the faces are staring at?
Not 33 again.
So also, there was 4 white women that went, and there was 2 black women. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then I don't know if you noticed the 6 symbols in all the corners next to their names, but then there's a 7th symbol right here. You see this one? For some reason, there's this extra 7th symbol. It's not a star because it's much bigger than just the normal stars that are over here. Let me know down in the comments if you guys know what these symbols mean. It does make me just a little nervous why there's that extra symbol in there. What, did something come back? So I don't have this thing fully decoded yet or anything, but don't forget to follow. I'm not even saying anything. I'm just pointing stuff out.
All right. I mean, I don't know what all that means. I know there's,
Bro, you know what
there's
it
gematria
means.
going on here for sure.
Bro, the problem is homie who's telling you looks like he wants my change at the bodega. And so nobody's going to take that motherfucker seriously, right? Like he needs to go get a shave, put on a regular tee.
How should you dress when you're making Illuminati content?
Well, you got to present yourself. I'm going to tell you, other than just looking like a normal person, maybe you could go a little bit like culty looking, like Illuminati.
Bro looks like he's in Antarctica,
type
bro.
shit,
Yeah,
you know? But like, yeah, bro looks like Paul Bunyan, dog. Like, you think I'm gonna take that serious? It looks like Paul Bunyan's really down bad right now.
He needs to look like a priest.
Talking about the symbolism. The symbolism.
Okay. All right.
33.
Listen,
Bezo.
the 33 thing right away. I was like, oh, not again. But
what is 33? I'm unschooled in
you're unschooled. This is a 33rd
I'm unschooled.
degree Mason, man.
And our audience may not be schooled either. We need to talk about
33 degrees in the Scottish Rite. So that's what it's,
what that
based
mean?
on. It's masonry, bro. You got to understand that it's a cult symbolism.
All right, so we got we got 33
repeated in specific things across. Look, it's not my personal beliefs. I'm just trying to explain to you what's going on here.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Right? There's
we are called the Goat Show, so
they're watching.
Listen, if you take all the digits to the Goat Show and you add them up, it's 141. And if you add 1 plus 4 plus 1, that's 6. If you take all the digits from the Goat Show and you multiply them, it's like 69 something crazy. But when you add all those digits, it's 33. And then when you add those
digits, 6.
Shh!
Stop giving them the sauce,
bro. We might be secretly Illuminati. We just don't know it yet.
And there's 3 of us, right?
There is 3 of us.
3, 6.
We had 4 and one had to get sacrificed.
I got none. I ain't speaking on that at all. I got nothing to do with that. All right. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what this gematria is, but we're gonna have to move
Sorry,
on.
I'm just trying to paint the picture.
Otherwise, we're not gonna get to our other topics today.
I gotta give. I gotta give them some kind of something.
No,
Look at when we make it, Ferocity. When we make it, they're gonna be making videos about how we're Illuminati anyway. So I'm like, look, it might be good press just to give them the ammo. If they start doing it now, then they can help us.
I don't know what this dude's talking about. I don't know what's going on. We ain't doing no black magic. We're taking some black magic though. Isn't that right, Fresh? Aren't we you know, doing the thing?
Oh, are we?
Blood beard, what a beard. He's got a beard, a very special beard, a romantically inclined beard. Oh, what a beard, you can't resist it. Blonde beards.
Go to blondebeards.com and use code GOAT at checkout for 10% off your first order.
There we go. Black magic hot sauce. Y'all watching? Highly recommend it. Had that. Had the chicken and waffle. Chicken and waffle is my favorite, but I know these fellas here are partial to black magic buffalo sauce. But it's our homie Adam Nelson who we interviewed. He's a Blonde Beards is a sponsor of the show. So go to blondebeards.com. Put in the code GOAT for 10% off, and you can try a variety. I would get their, I don't know if you guys think, but I would get their like special. They have a pack where you can get
get the
all
flute,
the
flute or whatever, right? Get that.
Flight.
Or
The
flight,
of
flight,
four.
flight. That's what it's called.
Flight.
Get that. Try them all out. Make your decision. Also, though, there's like a couple of sauces that aren't in the flute that I need to try as well.
The flute.
But or
The
what?
flight.
Flight, bro. It's a flute.
Listen, it's
now.
catty and it's flute. All right, we're gonna we're right. We say
God
what we
damn it.
want to say, and we do what we want to do.
Hey,
We don't follow
I
your
can't let my bro get off like that, dude. I'm trying to protect him over here.
They're not in the flute, bro.
And maybe not on the flight either. The other one. Listen,
Asian Zing? Is that what it was? Asian something?
Dojo.
Asian
Oh.
Dojo?
they do have dojo sauce.
Just
Look,
Dojo?
he's bowed. He's bowed. That shit racist, bro.
Whoops.
I don't know.
We ain't even on the
All
segment
it
talking about
takes is a
Chinese.
half a beer, bro, and it's over.
I should have got a beer. I might go get a beer. Well,
All right,
listen,
enough
there
of this
may have
Blue
been one.
Origin shit.
There may have been one way that they made it to space. Okay, there's a third option. And it may be the fact that we, as the United States, have special technology which allows us to manipulate time and space. So let me just clue you guys in if you missed this. So on April 14th, 2025, Michael Kratsios, White House Director of Science and Technology Policy, made a statement at the Endless Frontiers Retreat in Austin, Texas, claiming U.S. technologies can manipulate time and space. And Trump, in a press conference in the Oval Office a couple days ago, they asked him, they said, look, you be levying these tariffs, motherfuckers might be mad. Are you worried that we might it might lead to a third world war or something like that? And he said, we got weapons that you can't even understand, like what we got. Now, Trump is partial to boom and bluster, and he's a showman, and he likes to say things sometimes to get the people going. You know what I'm saying? But this guy is from what I could tell, he's an egghead, kind of science. Yep, indeed, time space. Like he's an egghead, kind of normal. The speech was not hyperbolic. He was just stated. You might have almost missed it if you weren't paying attention. The other thing that happened was they released a public document about this, and they say it in the document, so it's in writing now, but they do not elaborate on what it means. They say nothing. So my thought is we in this tariff war, which we'll talk about in a sec, what China's doing. There may be some unhappy actors, And we might just be dropping little clues to get them thinking. You know, to get them thinking. Listen, you can mess around with these tariffs, but you know, if you're thinking about taking action as a result of it, you just be careful. You might get MH370 on out of here. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that he's talking a good one, like he does. And I think the time and space thing is quantum computing. I think that it's quantum folding. And I think that, again, he's just talking a good one. Oh, that you couldn't understand, because they're probably just already utilizing it. And he probably thinks that other governments and places aren't.
I mean, look, we just, if you guys haven't seen it yet, the interview we just did with Nidhi, Nadav Akhtar, that we just did, he goes into it, and we had a space with him on Tuesday night, and he's like, yeah, like DOD's been messing with quantum since 2014. That's how long they've been messing around with this quantum stuff. So, you know, who knows? Like they definitely, and this is not new to the DOD, that's for sure. So I don't know, but I mean, but do you think it's like MH370? We can grab up these planes, we can grab up people and just like disappear them into the void. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because they haven't debunked
No, I don't.
MH.
Yeah, it is debunked.
Is it debunked?
Yeah, it's completely debunked.
How? Okay, tell me what you found out about that.
I don't know off top exactly, but I remember when we were last talking about it, that all the points that I was making about it were debunked.
I'll have to see. I've not dug in deep enough to say whether it's debunked or not.
Well, the videos that they claim are like apparently older or something.
Can you
I wanted
zoom in a little bit, Deezy? Is it possible?
Yeah, I wanted just to pull this up so that we can show directly from the whitehouse.gov articles.
Yeah.
Stagnation was a choice. We have weighed down our builders and innovators. The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter, and then making it harder and harder to build. We seem to have lost focus and vision, to have lowered our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow, and improve productivity.
Is it figurative? They just saying some figurative ass shit? Or is it real? Are they being for real? They got some.
I'm telling you, it's quantum computing, man. It's not. So look, here's what. Yes, the MH370 UAP video, which claims to show Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 being abducted by UFOs, has been widely debunked. Multiple analyses have confirmed the footage is not authentic. Fact-checking reports from France 24's observers team in 2023 found the video was originally posted in May 2014, titled Airliner and UFO, with no mention of MH370. Later uploads falsely linked it to the missing flight. The satellite footage in the video was also tied to NROL-33, a satellite launched after MH370's disappearance on March 8th, 2014, making it impossible for it to have captured the event. VFX analysis experts, including Corridor Digital and Reddit users, I don't know why that matters, identified the portal and zap effects in the video as stock VFX elements from a 90s library, predating MH370's disappearance. The plane's image was shown to be composited.
Yeah, right.
With identical noise patterns in frames seconds apart, indicating digital manipulation.
Shit.
So she fake, boys. Sorry,
it's
man.
Fake. Damn.
Yeah. So again, back to what I was saying, I really think that it's
just quantum computing and
it's quantum,
kind of stuff.
And they're just using these words to be like time and space, because it is, right? It's folding time and space, right?
Well, check this out, right? All right. This is another paragraph that I wanted to read.
Okay.
At a time defined by the desire to build in America again, we have to throw off the burden of bad regulations and weigh down our innovators. Oh, sorry.
That'll
the burden
weigh
of
down.
bad regulations that weigh down our innovators, and use federal resources to deploy and to mature emerging technologies. We know, for example, the greatest obstacle to limitless energy in this company has been, country. It's a company too, though, so it makes sense. Has been a regulatory regime opposed to innovation and development. This too has been the chief barrier to pushing the envelope again in transportation, whether supersonic aircraft or high-speed rail and flying cars. The
All
time
right,
has
listen,
come.
stop the presses. Okay, okay. You're telling me that if I'm like, yo, let's not do, if I'm on Google Maps and it's got two different paths and one's shorter than the other, right? And I take the shorter route. You're saying I can now say I'm manipulating time and space? Like it's legit for me to say that? Hey, Fresh, I'm about to manipulate time and space to get to your ass, 5 minutes ahead of
check this
schedule.
out. Not too long ago, they had reported like quantum teleportation of some sort of electron or molecule or something. Do you remember that? It
Yes,
wasn't
sir,
that
I
long
do.
ago, just like
Mhm.
months
Yes, sir,
ago.
I do.
Right.
It wasn't just like a thing. I'm pretty sure it was a whole object.
You think
No.
so? Let's find
Really?
that
I
out.
can't.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I
'Cause
thought it
that'd
was a
be
whole
huge.
object.
That's some like the prestige David Bowie shit right there. I'm just saying, like, I don't know why use that language to describe just you being more efficient. Just say, look, we're going to be more efficient. Manipulate time and space. I don't know. If you say manipulate time and space, I feel like you're coding something in. We got some coded language in there. Try and tell our adversaries, don't mess around. We'll come over there. We'll Xi Jinping. We'll come over there and we'll snatch you up, blast you into the void forever to fall through space or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, oh, you're on mute, Fresh.
They transferred a photonic qubit state to a solid state qubit over 1 kilometer of optical fiber.
Man, that's like when they're like, you go to Mars and they're like, oh, we think we found an amoeba. I don't want no dang amoeba. I want Zorb to come down.
Yeah, we're not sent. It's not like Star Trek, like not no beaming me up.
Right.
But like we've sent microscopic shit so far.
That's pretty fat. That is pretty badass.
Yeah, and it, because again, it's not just about like sending one atom. You're sending the information that is an atom or is a group of atoms in a certain specific order, and they are landing in the other place in that certain specific order in a solid state. That's wild. It's wild.
So we could put information in an atom, perhaps beam it to an alien civilization many light years away.
We could likely fit the whole of the world's knowledge in an atom of water and send it. But you don't have.
Wow.
This conspiracy is gonna go way too far left. We can't, bro. But like,
all right. Well, let's bring it back.
I almost want to run. I wish I had Nelson's ad queued up right now so we can talk about water, but
let's bring it back. All right. Look,
energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred. So,
okay. All right.
It's all out there. If we can come up with teleportation, then things are gonna get really wild really quick. I feel like.
I mean, that's what Bob Lazar's always said, that we have machines that can transcend space and time. And they don't want anybody to know about it because you can send missiles and hypersonic speeds and all that shit.
What if that was the fucking White House confirming that right there, dude? Just by like with a simple sentence.
Man, I'm sick of these coded things like this Q thing.
I know. We've back constructed a UFO technology, and it's allowed us to create technology where we can manipulate space and time. Is that what you want them to say?
That's what I want them to say. And I want them to say, none of y'all fucking terrorists are getting this shit. None of y'all other countries are getting it. We did it. USA is number one. Come try and get this shit. But anyway, we must move on. We have other topics to discuss in this show. As I mentioned, China is our adversary. China is our enemy. China
Not
and these
according to
Chinese are
dude.
are
Not
trying to
according to
turn-
iShow Speed, bro. I'm gonna have to bring this. I got to bring this up because it's a fucking it's a hot topic when it comes to
that
China.
turncoat traitor going to Shanghai, doing backflips, fucking look at this
They're
city
paying- they
bullshit
must
with
be
the
paying him
drones.
good. You think they're paying him?
Hell yeah, they're paying him. Get the fuck out of here. He ain't Chinese. They paid him somehow. I mean, he has to declare it though, I guess, with the U.S.
No,
government.
bro. He just wants to be Chinese. Definitely.
I gotta be. Well, I'll be honest.
The Chinese.
I'll give it up to
Cristiano
you,
Ronaldo
Chinese.
Jesus.
Shanghai looked pretty fucking dope. Was it Shanghai that they showed or Beijing?
I don't
Was
know.
it Shanghai or was it Shenzhen?
Oh,
I feel like
Shenzhen.
yeah.
Or all the gambling.
That's like
now.
their industrial capital, if I'm right. Like that's where they
Oh.
have like a shit ton of production in that area.
There's a lot of factories and there's a lot of really nice skyscrapers apparently.
Right. I mean, it looks impressive, guys. I don't
looks
know. Are we
nice.
on our way
Sure,
out?
but have you ever seen the videos of people who actually live there going up to like they go to the parking garage and they're like, oh yeah, it looks so nice, and then they go up and they kick the fucking side of the thing and it falls apart, bro. Like the fucking pillar in the parking lot is falling apart because they're not even using the right concrete mix.
Listen, I'm gonna find the reference video. I know what you're talking about.
If it's South Park, we can't play it. Otherwise, we'll get dinged for copyright.
It's not.
So
It's not. It's a
Okay.
real video, bro.
Okay.
Like it's real life shit.
I will say, call me racist. Say whatever you
Racist.
want, but I do find when what's his name, Trey Parker does the City Wall voice in the studio. I've seen that before. It gets me every time. Anyway, nah, man, I love you, Chinese. All right,
Wait, it's
we want to grow
racist to
in
do
China.
accents?
TG's coming to China.
Bro, it's not racist to do accents.
Mm,
Get the fuck, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I gotta phonetically listen to you, and then I'm imitating you. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, my boy. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Man,
this is
people
people's
were-
minds all twist up, bro. You think that, bro? If I was racist against you, I wouldn't even want to learn how to imitate.
You know, that's a fair point. If I was really racist, I wouldn't learn how to do the accent.
Yeah, because I wouldn't like it. I would think it's annoying and gay. But instead, I think it's endearing and I think it's cool and shows where you come from. And you know what I mean? I don't think it's a big deal.
To be fair, I can't do an Indian accent. I'm terrible. You know, I'm bad Indian. I can't even do the Indian accent. So it is, you know, if I cared about India and Indians, I would probably learn the accent, but I haven't learned it. So I don't really care.
You don't care about them.
Fair enough. I don't even know where we're going with this. All I'm saying
Who
is
cares? Tangent number 3. Who cares?
all I'm saying is China is a problem. All right. The big thorn in our plans with these tariffs. So the whole rest of the world, when Trump's like, listen, we just want to have something fair. All right, let's keep it even, Stephen. They all were like, all right, cool. You're the big dog. You know, we'll go equal. We'll go 1-to-1 with the tariffs. Okay, the whole world, and then the one country that decides, no, we're not taking your shit anymore, is China. And we've been going back and forth with them. Let me see. Let's see what the actual numbers are. So saying, we went from 125%, and then it went to like 200 something percent, and it's just been escalating. Okay, and China's saying, well, you know what? Keep raising those tariffs. We ain't gonna give you no natural minerals. We ain't gonna give you no Boeing airplanes, and just wait. We're not gonna give you any baby strollers, because 98% of baby strollers are made in China apparently.
Okay, so again, like Americans can make strollers. That's fucking ridiculous. But I mean, regardless, like the overarching point here is that China's shooting itself in the foot. China doesn't create goods for Chinese people to consume. It creates goods for American people to consume. Americans are the #1 consumer. And if America just stops fucking with China, as much as it hurts America, it fucking collapses China. Like China
Also,
will not fucking exist.
also, the only reason that a lot of American companies have went to China is because they're trying to increase profit margins for their stakeholders, which people need to understand is once a company becomes a publicly traded company, the only thing that matters is profit to the stakeholders. That's the only thing that matters for a company anymore. Right. So they're going to do whatever is going to increase profit for the shareholders because that is the best benefit for the company. So when they are incentivized to move their companies outside of the United States or even more local, Mexico, Canada, to China, because it's just cheaper, or they're closer to resources, or there's not a lot of barriers for them to do that, then all of those jobs leave. You know, we use less local resources for those things to produce them, and then we pay the extra cost of importing it too. So and we lose the jobs. That's huge, right? Like,
right.
There's a lot of people that lost their jobs for like car company factories shutting down and moving to different places. And so once those incentives leave, then the companies have to decide, okay, well, the best thing for our shareholders is actually to move our business back to the United States and try to build the supply chain here and tap into the local resources and do it that way. It's obviously going to take time, but that's what's going to happen. Again, it's all fueled by the dollar. And I think that Trump knows this.
Yeah.
And so if he could sway the dollar to be spent here in America, then that's what he's trying to do. That's my guess.
To be fair, I don't even know if he wants to, like, not that he doesn't want production to eventually end up back in the States, but I'm not sure that that's this. You know what I mean? I really think he just wants more of a fair shake and China wants to play hardball.
Yeah.
Listen, and in the sense of decentralization, I'm all for our supply chain coming from multiple different places. Why? Because if something goes wrong with one, you have the other ones to fall on. So like, it's better that we buy not just from China. Like, we shouldn't be importing everything just from China. We should have the option to get those same products from Taiwan or South Korea or India,
Mexico,
you know? And so if something goes wrong with China, then we still have other ways that we can get the things that we want. But when we become too reliant on China, that's a problem because they can at any time decide what they're doing right now. We're going to cut everything off from the US. We're going to stop sending you shit. And yeah, it's in retaliation, but this had to be done. You know, you got to rip the Band-Aid and start building those relationships with other countries so that you can really decentralize the trade. That's important. And especially for the crypto dudes out there, like, decentralizing our trades and our supplies is going to be super important for a stable global economy. That way, not too many countries rely on one single entity to provide them with their economic resources. And if something goes wrong, we're not so tied together with one country that it fucks everything. Because if the US fails, all the countries fail. We're done. If the US goes into a global crisis where we don't have the liquidity or money or debt or whatever could happen, then all the other countries that rely on us are also going to fail too. That's why we have the power to levy these tariffs and make the deals, because all these countries have allowed themselves to become reliant on the United States and China. And if we stop trading with China and China fails, they're going to fail too. So it's like a two-way street. All these countries really rely on both the United States and China. And if either one of us goes into fucking spiral, then everyone's fucked.
Yeah. And I mean, we have so much that we rely on them for that we shouldn't. Like, I mean, our military equipment and our fucking, you know, a lot of our, microchips and those types of things, like things that are like super sensitive, you know, really should be built here and shouldn't be built there. So I mean, I'm in support of that, bringing those supply chains for the essentials, and I'm in support of what you're saying. I think you're saying, Fresh, is Like, let's keep it even. You know what I'm saying? Look, you want to have whatever tariffs, we're just going to match them. That's it. You want to limit our companies getting in your country? Fine. We're just going to limit the same way your companies coming in our country. Totally fair. That's reasonable. I think that that's in that sense. I don't have a problem with the tariffs. In that sense, if that's the
because you
idea.
don't need them to start making your country self-reliant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it doesn't actually help the country become self-reliant. It forces you to, like Deezy was saying, rip the Band-Aid off. And
Right.
I don't necessarily think in matters of the economy at this scale, you take a rip the Band-Aid off approach. Like, because that ripping the Band-Aid off, you could be fine, but you could also have total collapse.
Well, and to keep in mind, this was
Well-
all deliberate, right? Like these fucking politicians, you fucking rat bastards, have sold out our country so that the jobs leave, the country gets fucking weakened from the inside, and now we have to rely. This is not a keep your enemies, your friends close and your enemies closer type of thing. It's now we're literally relying on our enemy for fucking 40% of our trade. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's stupid.
Right.
That doesn't even make, that's a national security problem.
Right.
Like, this is supposed to be our enemy, and who knows what they're putting in these products that they're sending us. They know it's going to the United States. They could be intentionally poisoning products or just making shit with low quality that they know is going to affect people that's not going to affect them. They're isolated from it, right? Like,
Well, now that you mention that, Robert Kennedy out here, Robert Kennedy Jr., I should say, he out here saying we getting poisoned, bro. So good. RK Jr. saying he got up here. You know, if anybody doesn't know, he's the what is it? Health and Human HHS Health and Human Services Director. He got up. He's saying 1 in 31 kids is a fucking retard, and we don't know why. That's what he's saying. Autism.
oh yeah, by the way,
Legal
audience,
retardation.
retard is back. So you haven't been caught up on the social sentiment. We're allowed to say retard again.
Yes.
So get with the
Yes.
times.
Yes.
We're back.
I think, and I take it to the point where if you really are retarded, we still getting called a retard. I don't care. All right, it's back. Let's just call a spade, as they say. No, he's saying 1 in 31 kids is now developing autism, and he's getting down. They're getting down the bottom of it under his tenure, and they're gonna figure it out. And he believes that it is environmental. So going back, what you're saying with China. I mean, I remember they had baby formula. They were poisoning baby formula back in the day with lead or something. China was sending that out. So I don't know, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's the environment, or I feel like maybe it's electronics? Because what else has changed in the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years?
I don't think it's electronics, bro.
I don't know.
It's got to be, aluminum in vaccines.
You want to know the thing that makes me feel like
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I believe that live cultured cell vaccine, like the vaccines where they actually take the cell of the thing and they neutralize it and inject that into your body, and then your body has an immune response. I think that technology works, but even in those vaccines, there are toxic chemicals. So I'm not necessarily an anti-vaxxer in the sense that I don't believe in vaccines. I understand that some of them have like proven scientific backgrounds, but they still have chemicals that can cause damage. So,
well, like kids with like nonverbal autism, for example, like 90% of the kids that go on heavy metal detoxes that are nonverbal autistic, within 3 weeks of having their detox, speak, like start speaking.
Interesting.
So they're not mute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just don't speak for whatever reason because this heavy metal is interfering with whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Right. And so,
I mean,
and then you're also getting like all kinds of heavy metal in the air.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what they're spraying up there?
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah,
there's no such thing as chemtrails. You're a fucking conspiracy theorist, bro.
Not anymore.
Am I now?
We already have states in the United States that have banned chemtrails.
Yep. legislation's coming
So-
through.
Wow, look at that. It's real. If there's a law
Conspiracy
against
theorists
it,
win.
you try to argue it's false when there's literally laws on the book against doing it.
Right. I mean, listen, like my dad, who's no longer with us, but he was a physician when he was here. This is back in like the 2000s. He was like, he told us not to get the flu shot and get vaccines. And he was like a pretty straight arrow kind of, physician, but he was like, look, they're putting all kinds of stuff in these things now that we don't even know what they're doing, and you can't sue them if something goes wrong. So
Yeah,
I mean,
like
what does that say?
if you were giving a kid the classic polio vaccine that I got, it'd be okay. But like in between getting that, and like your next whatever the fuck, and getting like a malaria vaccine if you're going away, you're getting 9,000 fucking shots.
Right.
Like
The amount of shots that kids get now is insane. That to me is weird.
yeah, because
I mean-
look, I actually think that like when it was like 1 in every million kids, or even 100,000 kids was being born autistic, or not being born, but being like ending up autistic for whatever reason. If we could like, if we had that regimen of vaccine and whatever, I think it's worth it. Right? Because at that stage, you are actually protecting from things like people are not getting measles. And so like, you know what I mean? Like those are regular, like, I think that those are standard vaccines that we had but they're not the same anymore. You're not getting the same. You're getting like a malaria and a this all in one. And like your 3-month-old is getting your newborn is getting a hepatitis B shot. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how does that make sense to me? Like, my newborn is not going to have sex, bro. I promise.
I'm pretty sure there's a lawsuit or a study or some kind of research for a lawsuit for the hepatitis B shots right now. There's something that happened with those. Maybe I think it made women infertile. Like there's all kinds of weird things that it like did. I don't know. Have to look it up.
And at the end of the day, it's big business. So it's like
in the name of vaccines, I think the thing that really killed it for everybody was the COVID vaccine. And today they released the whitehouse.gov. If you go to covid.gov, this is where it'll take you to the lab leak, true origins of COVID-19.
Oh man.
The proximal origin of SARS-CoV-19.
Wait, Deezy, I don't see any bats.
Because there's no bat
pictures. There's no bat. I thought somebody had sex with a bat and then that made COVID. No?
No, I mean they were trying to say it came from. Look at this site breaks it all down, bro. Listen, it says that there's a publication, the proximal origin of SARS-CoV-2 publication that was used to repeatedly by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory. And it was prompted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated naturally. These are all the reasons why it's not natural. 1, the virus possesses a biological characteristic that is not found in nature. 2, data shows that all COVID-19 cases stem from a single introduction into humans. This runs contrary to previous pandemics where there were multiple spillover events. 3, Wuhan is home to China's foremost SARS research lab, which has a history of conducting gain-of-function research, which is gene-altering and organism supercharging research, at inadequate biosafety levels. The Wuhan Institute of Virology researchers were sick with COVID-like symptoms in the fall of 2019, months before it was discovered at a wet market. By nearly all measures of science, there was evidence of a natural origin. If there was evidence of a natural origin, it would have already surfaced, but it has not.
Damn.
Here's where the market was.
Right.
Here's where the Institute of Virology is, 7.5 miles.
Right.
So if
we knew this shit. I mean, okay, let's bring it back. Yeah, we know all this shit. Like, I mean, is anybody surprised? We knew this fucking. This is what drives me crazy. It's like, it's just lies, man. We just keep getting lied to. I mean, credit to I mean, RFK's been getting some shit for supposedly not keeping his promises, but I mean, he's kind of hit a home run today with this. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. Cheers to him for releasing this information. And it's all great and everything, but it's just we spent 2 years. I mean, especially me living in LA at the time. 2 years locked down, man. And I think that's really the real thing that concerns me is just that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the silver lining that when something crazy happens now, it doesn't matter how crazy it is, we're gonna won't be so willing to give up our freedoms for this kind of bullshit and these lies that they keep telling us. But I just keep thinking how many more lies can they tell us where people just wake up and go, fuck you, but maybe we're getting there.
Unlimited lies.
People just love lies, man, for whatever reason. Like, we don't want to believe that, our government would literally, create a poison. I mean, look, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I got a family member that is affected by this, so it's like, I've felt this personally. Like, she was one person before this happened, and now she's another person, and I don't know, it's just sad. And nobody's going to go. My thing is, like, when the fuck are people going to go to jail for this? Like, when are they going to get prosecuted? When is Fauci going to face justice? I mean, this is a true crime that he's committed here. You know what I'm saying? Why were they playing around with these viruses in the first place out there? And then why were we using China to do it? It's just, I don't know. The whole thing is messed up. Hopefully they get to the bottom of it and hopefully heads roll. I hope, but we can't even get a fucking, Epstein, an account of what's going on with Epstein. So I don't know. I'm willing to give these guys another year. I think another year. They got to get this shit done before midterms. All right. Like, you got to get whatever Epstein stuff out here. I want to see Epstein.gov. Okay. And it lays it out, and I don't want no protections for no country. I don't want no protections for Qatar.
It's not coming. It is never coming. There will be no more Epstein releases. There will be no arrests. There never was an Epstein. Who even is Epstein?
I hear he's an agent of Qatar. That's what I was last told. Apparently Charlie Kirk.
Qatar?
Apparently Charlie Kirk believes that. Could be Saudi Arabia.
Knows that's not true.
Oh man, is that true? Did Charlie Kirk really say that? Is that real?
They're Israel first, right? Those guys are all Israel first.
No, yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to ask. Did Charlie Kirk really say that Epstein was a fucking agent of Qatar? Did he say that?
He says that it's possible that it may not be Israel. But to be fair, on his behalf, he did call out somebody who was calling for anti-Semitism law. So he's kind of. I think maybe he's on the fence. I think Candace be talking to him. You know what I'm saying? He's getting talked to by everybody. He's in the middle. So Charlie, come to the the dark side.
Hey yo, no.
Come to the light, Charlie. You know it to be true. Feel it inside
free speech
yourself.
is free speech.
Isn't he a Christian?
He is. Well, there's different types of Christians.
Well,
But I'm just saying. But Deezy, you did bring up the question of free speech and how I believe you should not be prosecuted for saying ugly things. I believe the First Amendment protects unpopular, ugly, and cruel speech. Okay,
It does.
But in California, apparently, these Desi Bollywood beautiful Indian women just can't cut a break.
Oh yeah,
They can't cut a break.
she was dropping hard R's, bro.
Do you have that video?
Are we gonna play that video?
Absolutely. I mean, bro, this episode we've
It's off
already
the
gone
rails.
all the way in, bro. All the way in.
Off the rails.
Like,
Man, we just had an episode with 2,000 views. I don't want to get demonetized. All right. In case you guys don't know, I'll read you. And April 17, 2025, a viral video showed a woman freaking woman believed to be of Indian descent using the N-word repeatedly during a road rage incident in Pinole, California, leading to the Pinole Police Department to classify it as a hate incident and launch an investigation. Are we going to watch it?
Why not?
Bro,
Did you say it? I don't understand.
All right, let's hit the button. Let's see what did she say?
all right. These are your people, Ravine.
Right, bro. I need you to protect.
What
your
did she
people.
say?
That, bitch.
Nigger.
You got me fucked up. I'm sitting here going into the parking lot asking if you good.
Bitch.
You been staring at me.
With your fake ass eyelashes.
I don't give a fuck. I don't
Get
give a
out of my face, you fucking nigger.
All right. All right.
All right.
I got the gist of it. I think I understand how she feels.
Okay,
I think I know what she thinks of that person.
She had a hood ass
Yikes,
accent, by the
bro.
way.
I thought she said it with some affection, right? Like
No,
like
for
you might
for
with
Indian,
the soft A. That's what I heard.
for
I
an
mean, as
Indian woman,
man,
she's from
what was this?
there.
That was in California, bro. She's local. Yeah,
she's from there. Like not
her
like
accent was-
not. Yeah, she's been there since
Good.
you.
that was a West Coast. That was a West Coast accent right there for sure. Yeah.
where is
Fuck all this ally shit.
where is Joshua Clements? He's from the I believe it's around the Bay Area, somewhere around there. I don't know where Pinole is, but all right. Well, listen, we've had this discussion before. We said Latinos can say the N-word, if I remember correctly, in the right neighborhood, in the right hood.
Yeah,
Latino
but
can say that, you know.
but
Indians though,
the discussion here, right, is using the word as a term of endearment and then dropping the hard R at the end with a specific, saying it in a specific way that is like you're trying to say something that is hateful. You're trying to be hateful.
Bro, all this doesn't matter because there's nuance anyways.
No, yeah, the
You
nuance is
you
nuance.
only get to say
could
it.
be
You
black.
only get to say
You
it
don't
with
know.
more
That-
people who give you the
that
pass.
girl-
Like, you don't get to go on the internet and be like, "Yo, bam," and drop it. Even if you say it with endearment and bro,
That's
like,
not what we're
you-
talking about anyway. We're not talking about N-word pass
what are we
here.
talking about? What are we talking about?
'Cause she could be black. She looks Indian as hell, but who knows? You know what I mean?
Oh.
We don't know.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, okay. Let's assume she's black.
Yeah.
All right. Let's assume she's
No.
Indian. Let's assume she's Indian.
Yes.
100%.
You know, beautiful, sensual, Desi princess,
Damn, dude.
Um,
Sending the shot, bro.
throwing the
You're gonna
hard,
get us canceled.
throwing the hard RRR. I don't know if you guys know that movie. One of the most successful Bollywood movies in the world. Anyway, inside joke for my engines, my Jeters out here. Listen, she shouldn't. She should. I mean, but here's the thing: we live in a world now where if you lose your shit, I know you, Deezy, today they were putting the pressure on you and your woman. You about to lose your shit before the show on them. Tell them what you thought, right? And guess what? If a motherfucker has a camera out and they catch it, they're saying in California that could be a hate crime, and they're gonna make it, a thing.
Bro, wait, hold up. I wasn't dropping hard R's. Let's
No, that's not what I'm playing.
get the facts straight here.
I mean, if it was, let's say it was an Indian sales guy, you might have been dropping the hard R with Jeter. You know what I'm saying? The hard eater. You know what I'm saying? So the Jeter. I'm just
my
what I
God.
mean is that's not what I mean. I don't mean that I'm just saying that people while out. You catch that shit on camera. The whole world can see it now. Back in the day, it wasn't the whole world could see it. Back in the day, it was you had it out. You might have engaged in fisticuffs, and then you kind of like, all right, we got it out of our system. You might apologize, you might not apologize.
But like, listen, okay. I'm gonna give you why this is different now. Okay, so now, like in the neighborhood, we would still say, "Yo, that motherfucker over there is a racist," right? The whole hood would know when you would walk by, it'd be like, "Look, there's that racist motherfucker," right? Now you don't like the whole city's not gonna know, just the neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
The neighborhood is now online, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry. So now
Yeah.
everybody knows you're a racist. That's just what it is. The thing is, it's actually still the same impact though, because before your life was in the neighborhood.
Right.
Now
Okay.
your life is online. The problem is You used to be able to escape. Now
this out.
you can't move to a whole new neighborhood.
All right. Is
Hmm.
Kanye racist?
Yeah. He
Yeah,
said he was
openly,
racist.
Openly, yeah.
He said it in a song, fully anti-Semitic. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that he's just trying to prove a point?
That words. Well, I will say. Okay, here's a point that I think he made. That I also, and we can juxtapose this with another thing going on right now.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I have a way to tie this together, but I'm just asking questions.
Well, okay. So this is what. If I understand what you're implying, it used to be sticks and stones break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But we now live in a world where motherfucker can go and stab a dude multiple times, and then he gets paid $400K from the people. Apparently,
not only that, you get called a racist if you say that he deserves to be in jail.
Right. Carmelo Anthony, for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, because that's about his race for sure.
Yeah, that's insane.
Anyways,
I mean,
yes.
I mean, I just
let's just go back to Deezy and let him make his point.
Okay.
So, yes, I think he could just be trying to prove a point. What's your next thing?
Well, what if this bitch was just trying to prove a point by using harsh words, and she's like,
"That's not this." No, that's
no.
Not this. No,
this
man.
I mean,
bro, this is
caught on camera
anger
versus like written in text. Kanye's not angry.
I think it's worse
not in the same
when like Ye is thinking about what he's saying. This chick might have just had a moment. She's just tired of the bullshit. She's just tired of the bullshit. All right.
She had a moment where her hatred spilled out. Kanye West calculatedly released this, so it may not actually be hatred. That's my observation of these both things and how they're different. Like this person, if you're in an argument and you start spurging and you say some racist shit, that's not because you did that shit to prove a point, brother. You did that shit because you're racist. Now,
all right.
You
well,
calculatedly be like, yo, let me drop this Nazi thing. Let me do the thing. It's a little bit of a different thing.
I gotta, okay. Because if I'm mad at somebody, I don't do this. I try. I don't.
This video is that they never showed the beginning. This will go into what you're going to say. I'm sure. All they show is that part of the interaction.
Yeah.
Why is she saying that?
But here's the thing. They say it's a road rage incident. So I'm assuming if it's road rage, listen, I get road rage. Like if somebody fucks, everybody gets road rage. We wouldn't fuck around, right? And I don't know. Maybe the 90s were cruel, but like back in the day when I would fight my friends, if they really pissed me off, you would say the thing that is going to be the most hurtful thing to say.
Bro, but that's not.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
not
but
her
it's
friend, my bro.
No, but anybody, like if you're really angry, you shouldn't do this. But I'm saying bro, I give you more of a pass. Hold on a second. Let me just say, I give you more of a pass if like somebody's fucking with you and just messing with you, and then you're like, look, I'm gonna tell this person what's up to hurt them specifically because they're fucking with me. Doesn't mean that like you have an ideology, like you hold an ideology of racism. But like, yay, I mean, when you're thinking about it and you're writing lines to a song, and again, I love Ye and I believe in free speech and I do think he's making a point about free speech and that type of thing. But I'm like, if you're thinking about it and postulating about it and like you have contemplated things and you've arrived at a racial answer as the conclusion, like that to me is like, okay, you are at minimum a bigot and you know, and otherwise you are a definite racist. But if you're just like in the moment and you're heated and you just want to fuck with somebody and say the cruelest thing you can say to them that's going to offend them the most, then I don't know.
Okay,
I don't qualify that as racist. I qualify that as fucking with somebody.
Let me play the devil's advocate on that, right?
Okay.
So again, when you are calculating something, you're thinking about it, it's a plan that actually could have an ulterior motive, right?
Okay.
However, when you are spurging, like for example, if I'm arguing with you and or something happens and I really want to hurt you, I'm not going to mention your race, brother. That's not for you. My thought process to right away think that your race is going to be the way I'm going to hurt you is a racist mentality. I promise you, it's not. because there's so many other things that I could attack about you. Why do I have to attack your race? This person that she's fighting with is so perfect that the only thing that is wrong with them is their race, that's where your mind goes right away. I'm sorry, I can't agree. When I'm thinking about it calculatedly, because again, we're not talking about the same thing. Kanye's not trying to offend one person. He's trying to make an overarching point of Jewish people profiting off of the pain of Black people, but Black people not being allowed to wear Jewish pain, can't profit on their pain, can't whatever. He has an overarching point that, again, could not stem from racism. He may not have hatred towards Jews. He may just be pointing out hypocrisy. However, again, when you're spurging, why the fuck would be like, again, if the first thing you said to me when we're in an argument is that I'm white and a cracker and a whatever, I think you're a racist. I think that you are way likely more racist than somebody who thought about it.
Interesting. All right, so this is where I want to get into the fact that we only saw the beginning of that and of what the Indian girl said. What if the Black girl was like, "You stupid Indian" or something? What if originally, she made some kind of racial comment toward her first, and then that was how she decided to respond?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, my personal ideology or whatever, like
in defense of her, not our personal thought. Like this, none of us are going to.
Bad. Objectively, it's less bad.
So none of us are going to use that as a defense. Yeah, right. None of us would use race as a defense to ignorance. No.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like should you hit a woman or not? Like if a woman hits you first, I mean, we live in equal times, right? Is it fair game?
Danger? No. Unless
as a man, danger, the thing is, no. as a man, you should be able to decipher whether or not you're actually in danger.
Okay.
Right.
These bitches be crazy, man. They be stabbing. Damn. They be shooting. Oh my god.
If you guys don't know, that's E. He's our gay regular audience member. He really has a crush on me. You can find him at E4 Echelon.
Wow, he's just an audience member, Deezy. Wow.
Damn. Deezy, you don't love these hoes.
Damn, these hoes. Damn, G.
All right, listen. Well, this is the perfect one for you, E. We're just saying. Look. It's what is it?
How many hoes in the club?
Mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured racism is what we're talking about. You hit me with the hard Jeter, then I get to hit you back with the hard end. You know what I'm saying? The hard R with the end. No. I believe that it's less bad than if she's just continuously like dropping that shit the way we've seen that. Right. If the context just is this person hopped out and that's what this person said, it's way worse than if the person who was holding the camera first called her a racial name. That is all I will concede to. But at that point, both people are racist.
He's just saying two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
All right. Fair enough.
Take the higher road, turn the cheek,
Okay.
Do unto
others. You know what? Christian values. Let's return to being white Christians. It's a white Christian country that was founded. Let's return to that.
You're gonna be transracial or what? You identify as white now?
Damn.
That's exactly what I'm saying, bro. She's committed. I agree. She is like, for me, there is no reason to ever go that hard. Like, even, bro, like straight up, if we're arguing and I called you a dothead, you're gonna go that hard at me?
Yeah.
That hard at me.
The door ass fucking dothead.
You're gonna cracker.
First of all, we determined it. Colonizer is the white is what white people hate being called. Yeah,
but
colonizing
even that dothead, that's the stupidest fucking Indian fucking.
That's what I'm saying. But you're gonna let that shit offend you so much?
No, look, you're
gonna go.
I don't care what it is.
Your face.
I don't care what it is. If you say it with a racial intent, I get to return fire. Okay.
No,
That's my policy.
nah.
I get to return fire. Anyway,
Then you pussy.
Damn. All right.
Listen,
So
all right, listen.
Zilly's
Enough-
living eye for an eye.
listen,
Zilly's
listen,
eye for
enough-
an eye. And Fresh is two wrongs don't make a right. I'm in the center. I personally won't resort to racist comments. I'm sure there were plenty of other physical attributes I could have insulted her on that I didn't need to go to race, right? Like it's pretty easy to insult
if I was
people,
there,
especially in America. We're fucking fat. You guys everyone needs to work out and fucking get on it, dude. You can be. Sorry, had his rant there.
Listen, if I was
There
there,
you go.
Okay, all right, fine. I would have just tried to negotiate a peace between the two, and then try to get
Look at
over and hang out.
you have bias, bro, because you're Indian and you've already called this Indian woman a goddess like 3 times. So like you have personal bias.
I just said, listen, I would have negotiated a peace, a truce.
You would marry her
and invited him
tomorrow
over
at your door, bro.
to
Don't lie.
my place.
Right?
To talk it out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you would invite her to your place. I thought so. That's what I'm saying. You're
so,
trying to take your shot.
Look at this. Look at this question. All right. So
well, once you take violence,
I would say both of them are victims now. One of them of racism, the other one of violence. Right? Like,
and violence is more egregious than words. So,
well, look, okay. God, this thing is my face is like.
It's all right. You'll be all right.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm not even saying that she shouldn't kick her ass. I'm just answering the question specifically, like who the victim would be or whatever. But absolutely, you don't get to tell somebody how to react to what you say and do, right? So like if it is that offensive to somebody and they punch you in the face, like just don't be surprised. Like it's not that the other person isn't doing
that's
something.
Where I draw a line there too.
Now they're breaking the law by hitting you in the face. If you're you're expressing your free speech and now they're using violence.
I don't think.
Yeah,
it's still free speech. It's still free speech.
Free speech is free speech. You don't have a right to hit someone in the face.
You should be able to say whatever you want to say and not be worried about violence or prosecution. That's the purpose of free speech.
I agree. I mean, it's not in reality. I don't know, but
it's not a realistic principle because people are reactive, right? But you don't get to choose violence because someone used their fucking right to speak. That's not the viable option. And if you do that, you're going to jail, even if someone called you the N-word.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
although the pendulum has been swinging, right? Like racial hate bullshit with free speech has been popping up in law books all over the place. And so this is why we're even talking about it, right? Because we are free speech absolutists here. And we believe that like you should be allowed to say whatever you want to say.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it on the show before. Like, listen, speech is speech. And even no matter how much you hate what somebody's saying, you don't have a right to physically harm them.
Right, but you also understand humans, right? Like you don't just
now
that you
I'm not saying
like
that's
just
two
because
different
it's
things.
not legal, right? But just because it's not legal doesn't mean you're not going to get punched in the face, bro.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if someone has no control over themselves and they want to punch you in the face, sure. I mean that is a possibility and it should be considered. However,
when you punch somebody in the face. Yeah, when you punch someone in the face, then can now take you to court, and you're probably going to go sit in jail because you just assaulted somebody.
But is that law just? Is that law just? Like, I'm not. Is that not?
Yeah.
Yes. You don't get to assault somebody because they speak. No, you don't get to do that.
The whole point of free speech is to protect unpopular, unsanctioned, cruel, ugly, disgusting speech because one person's approved speech may be another person's unapproved speech. So where's the line? So the idea is, I get to speak freely. You get to speak freely. And if you use force against me as a result of that, you're in the wrong. Like that is what a civilized society is being able to communicate with each other and openly and share ideas. Because at any moment the precedent you set when you use your free speech and somebody uses violence against you is that, oh, well, if I say that the COVID vaccine, it was made in a lab and you don't think that that's right. You don't think that's okay. Well, I'm going to use violence against you. And you
Not
should know
only you
better.
don't think that's
You should
right
know
or
that if you
okay,
talk about this thing, you're going to
you
get in
think that's
trouble, and I'm going to be able to hurt
offensive
you.
and dangerous and threatening to society, right? Like you think that that's not just not okay, but like you think that that's like you should be executed or locked up or because you have that thought, and now you run into that problem. It's not just you don't think it's okay. It turns into the extremes once you set
Right.
that precedent. It doesn't
and
just
they'll
like
take them.
So it's basically if I come with fists and you come with fists, we can discuss the law. But if I come with a knife and you come with a gun, then the law's in your hands, type shit. That's what you're saying. So like that's why you can't fight somebody.
If you
for,
come with
different
force,
constitutional rights that we're talking about. We're talking about the freedom to speak.
yes,
and
and what I'm saying is you have to be free to speak without somebody having a gun. You understand? Without the threat of violence. I'm not the gun is metaphorical. It's violence, right? Like if if we come to the table as even men, fist to fist, we can discuss the law. We can discuss the inner workings of all this shit. It's fine. We're on an even playing field. But if I come to the table with my fists and you come to the table with guns, whatever we discuss, your opinion is right. So
that's
this is why we have to have this is why we have to have absolute free speech.
Correct. Yes. Because whoever can wield the most violence can decide what speech is allowed.
Right.
That's the problem. And once you give somebody the power, then they have the quote is absolute power corrupts absolutely. So once you give someone complete power, they're going to be corrupted to the deepest levels of the core of their humanity. And that's what happens consistently in humanity because people cannot take power well. That's just how it goes.
We have to separate two things. There is the like real world in the moment consequence of somebody saying something that somebody makes someone angry. Okay, that's one thing. And then there's justice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, if I go on the street and if I go to a black neighborhood and I start launching the N-word at people, I should not be surprised. I should not be surprised if like somebody wants to take a shot at me. Or it's kind of like when we say, can we, I gotta be honest, this thing's irritating me, like this thing in front of my face. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like telling a woman, like, hey, listen, you may not want to go into an alleyway when you're dressed up looking, whatever, right? It's like, sure, in terms of the justice and the law, if anybody touches her and something happens, like they deserve the full extent of, punishment. That said, it's like, well, I mean, if you don't have to do that, you might want to, be careful because it could be a dangerous situation that you might get yourself into with people that don't care about the law. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, and I think you guys agree, but I'm just saying that like free speech in terms of the law should not be prosecuted. This Indian chick saying the N-word a bunch, there should not be a prosecution against her from whatever.
No, I agree, but and again, I also agree that like if the chick punches her, that is against the law. However, my overarching point wasn't if it's against the law or not. It's that you shouldn't be fucking surprised because
that's right.
Although you're practicing free speech, you still have to use discernment, right? Like,
sure,
free speech means you can say things that are unpopular, but like, again, you also can get fucking punched in the face.
That's great. You said something that you figure somebody will be mad at, and you got punched in the face, and now you dealt with those consequences. Now, the person that decided to punch you in the face for speaking and using your rights has to deal with the consequences of their actions, which is they assaulted you. And so now they get to go to court and deal with assaulting you because you used your protected right. They don't have a right to hit you in the face. That's the thing. That's what we're talking about here. You have a right to say what you want to say, but they don't have a right to use violence on you. It's against your pursuit of happiness. I think
that this is kind of a fallacy where you're saying like you can't control your mouth. I'm perfectly in control of it. Like the people are perfectly in control of it, and you have the right to say back whatever you want. So like
Sure.
then
Sure.
she can yell back at her
Yeah.
as offensive or more offensive when
Whatever.
they go high, we go super low and take the kneecaps
Sure.
out. Like you have the
Sure.
right to that. But like
But not violent.
not violence, because we've agreed as a society violence is wrong, right? So like you combat speech with speech, not with violence. And like so
Correct.
if you're offended, say some offensive shit back to cut deep, like because again, like you're saying, the pen cuts deeper than the sword. Yeah, so use your pen to cut deep, because that's what
Right.
you're legally allowed to do, right? Like you're not legally allowed to hurt this person for speech.
But that's against your policy, right?
No, I'm saying don't be surprised.
Don't
I'm
be
not saying
your policies don't be racist. Don't use races. You can cut deep without
Oh yeah,
being
that's against my policy. Absolutely. I don't think
Right.
that you should be racist. I don't think that you need to be racist to cut deep. In fact, that was my original argument, right? Is that I think that shows that you're racist. If me and you are arguing and the first thing that I do is attack your race, then I'm a racist, because I see way more things wrong than a race. We are humans. Everybody's imperfect, and your race has nothing to do with it. So again, I think if
But
you
just
automatically go to race, and again, even if when somebody goes to race with you, if you automatically go to race, I think it's still racist.
I agree with
But
that.
also in that stance, just because someone is a racist, that does not give you the right to put violence on their body. So
I agree. Then you get to speak back at however you want, racist, not racist, whatever. Because again, we all have the same right to say the shit we want to say or need to say to hurt or whatever the fuck. You can use your words how you want.
Right. And you have the right to disassociate with that person, to not offer them potential opportunities that they might have had before, or to not have anything to do with them,
And Egoverse says the world is too soft today because we allow anyone to say whatever they want with no consequence. And I agree, but we have to weigh the fact that there are consequences to whatever action you decide to take against that person. So
Yeah, like you're setting
you
precedent.
can't just expect that they have consequence for their words and you don't have consequence for your actions. So if you
Right.
do want to take violence against somebody, fine. But you need to understand that there's a good chance that you're going to be in jail, because that's against the law. You don't get to hurt somebody because they said something mean to you. Sorry. That's just how it is.
And
if you want to take it up, let's meet in a ring, put some gloves on, and fucking spar about it.
And we can do that,
People
or just stop being so sensitive. Damn it.
Yeah, but
stop being
again,
so
like,
sensitive.
but
I mean,
what
for
are
real,
those
like-
consequences? Those consequences should be other words, right? Like if you don't agree with my words, then you tell me with yours.
Yeah. I mean, and that's
Right? And
that's better for society. It makes people more skilled. That's what civilization is. The whole point of, like, when people say being civilized, which is a no word now, but like I'm tired of people being like, oh, everybody's got to be a savage. I'm like, no. Like the whole you want a world that's savage? Like Genghis Khan is a world that's savage. Like you're fucking nothing. Like that motherfucker's gonna come with his army and and kill everybody and put your skull on a mountain on a fucking pile of whatever. That's savage. Like no, I want to live in a civilized society. Hold on, I want to live in a civilized society where people talk out their problems, and you might even argue and you might even yell at each other. But at the end of the day, at least you get it out of your system, you work it out, and then you figure out how to build shit together. That's all I'm saying.
And look, I don't want to discredit the fact that violence is what keeps us civilized. Like the mutual threat of violence is what keeps people from being violent against each other. If I'm violent to you, there's a good chance you're going to be that back. So I'd better be prepared for that equal, and that goes for countries, people, individual sovereigns, and that's what keeps us from being fucking savages, is the fact that
words aren't violent though.
But I'm going to answer one thing I'm going to answer one thing he's saying. He's saying getting your lip busted for disrespecting someone, to me, is not savage. It is savage, and I'll tell you why. Because sure, like if we pick an example, like say the N-word or whatever, right? Most people can go, oh, yeah, like somebody says the N-word to a black person, they deserve to, get something done to them. But what if that thing I'm saying is, hey, the world is not, or depends what you believe. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm Copernicus or I'm fucking Galileo and I have a theory about how something is, and those motherfuckers got put in fucking castles and shit and with the key thrown away because it was heresy, what they were talking about. And so what that means is that the sharing of ideas intellectually, like if you give the justification to punch a racist for saying something racist, you're also giving the justification for anybody to say that anything is disrespectful for them, and thus they deserve the right to be, dealt with force. And that's what I'm saying. There's a precedent that it sets. It's like you can't allow violence to be the answer to unpopular speech. Otherwise, anybody can say anything is unapproved speech, and then they can take it out on you. They can go after you for it. You know what I'm saying? That's what all the Bolsheviks did in fucking communist Russia. If you were a capitalist, they fucking killed your ass. Like, they didn't give a shit, or put you in a gulag or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Like, I think it's kind of one of those edge case things. It's kind of like pornography.
The word police turns into the thought police, right?
I actually listen, bro. I actually don't think that there is an argument against free speech on that level. Like, because I think that free speech should always be a thing, even with like the example given about Hitler. Hitler said a lot, then did a lot. The saying part is not illegal. It's when you mobilize. Like, not even the threat, in my opinion. Like, right? Again, it's just my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Nobody wants to hear it. But I don't think that the threat even should be illegal. I think that when you start making things like uttering death threats and shit like that illegal, that's crossing free speech lines.
It's true, and I
because
have
the threat of we were just saying the threat of violence is what keeps everybody civilized.
And listen, the reason why I've turned a new leaf on this is because Donald Trump is literally tweeting at Iran, "I will rain hellfire down on you if you don't do what we say." Like, that's the president of the United States telling another sovereign country, like, get these motherfucking rebels in line, or you guys are going to experience hell like you've never seen on the face of the planet. That's a fucking threat. That's the greatest threat of any threat ever. And that's the president of the United States to another sovereign country on the planet, right? Like,
but the first country to mobilize is the one who makes the first move. This is not move one. We're not in war.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not in war until somebody moves. The minute you move, it becomes now an act of war or a crime or you know what I'm saying? But
I mean,
I also believe
this is one of those things that's
if then statements are not threats. So that's another thing. That's another thing, that if you make an if then statement, that's not a threat. If you just walk up on someone and say, "I'm going to murder you right now," well, then I have a reasonable, like, I can reasonably defend myself then. Like, if you just walk up on me and, like, it looks like you're trying to hurt me, or you're like,
when you mobilize, the minute you mobilize,
yeah.
You're at home, I'm at home. I'm like, I'm gonna come fucking kill you, you little bitch, right? But I never move with intent to come get you. I don't go get a gun and put it in my car. I don't do none of that shit, right? I didn't commit a crime. The minute I go to start moving towards you in any aspect, that's a crime.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Even defamation of character is a civil matter. It's not criminal, right?
I mean,
so
that's a whole other can of worms. Because I mean,
but still, it's still free speech. You're still allowed to say something about somebody, and they can't lock you up for it. They can, maybe someone could sue you.
I mean, I'm at the point where, like, I feel like even defamation. I mean, I don't know. That's a libertarian to me. I'm like, because like, your reputation is your reputation. I think defamation actually can help society because it makes people have to behave better. Like if I say
I'm against those laws as well.
Yeah. I feel like if I go Deezy, you're speech. If I go Deezy, you're a blah blah blah, you know, and I'm lying through my teeth, and that's really not who you are, right?
Then now I'm known as a liar.
Right, but if you have lied in the past, Deezy, well, somebody will believe me. But if you have people around you who are like, look, I've never heard him ever tell a lie. This guy's been reliable. And they will people come to your defense and say, look, this is not what this company is, and I've never heard this thing. It usually washes over. Like, if your reputation is strong enough and you've done enough, and I think it encourages people to express goodwill and to be kind, because it's like, hey, look, like, anybody can say anything about me and they can destroy my business. I have to go the extra mile to make sure that if I provide service, I provide good service, or if I'm going to do something, I do what I, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I can understand though, because it's
It's just
'Cause
about,
again,
like,
that's the slippery slope. It affects
Yeah.
you personally, so now you got a bias, or you know what I'm saying? You start
Hmm.
applying it to your life, and then you're like, oh, but no, don't do that. Read the law as it is. It's wrong. It's limiting speech. Just
Yeah.
to address the last thing that he said, where if you react physically, then the same. Yes, this is what I'm saying. So, like, if I say something to Iran, or like if the US says something to Iran, then Iran says something to US, this is all okay. But the first person to mobilize becomes the aggressor, regardless of words flying. Because again, words are all okay. In my opinion, speech should be absolutely free. You say whatever you want. But the minute you make a physical movement in any aspect towards committing the thing you said,
then you
then
put
you
in
committed a
motion.
crime.
You put in motion a bunch of
Yeah.
things that you don't have control over anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you only have control up until the point that you are now applying violence onto somebody else, because you don't have control over that other person. And so once you do that, then now you've given free agency for a bunch of things to happen. You've entered into a contract with physicality, and now that other person has the right to respond accordingly. Right.
Right.
So, and
the other
responding
part-
accordingly to verbal is with verbal. That's the whole point of freshest
Right.
things. Someone says something to you and you say something back. It's like the two people in New York, like, fuck you. Oh yeah. Well, fuck you. And then that's it. You know what I mean? They
it's
just
like
say
those
fuck
two.
you all
It's
the
like
way down
those
the
two.
road.
It's like those two Indians that go back and forth with each
Bloody,
other.
bloody, bloody, you bloody, fuck you, bloody.
Hey,
Yes,
stop
bro.
saying that, Fresh. I'm gonna come there and kill you.
Fuck you,
for
bloody.
saying that. Don't report me, YouTube. All right, I'm just fucking around. I'm just joking around.
But again, it's okay. Like, even if you were to fly here today, I wouldn't feel threatened and I wouldn't call the cops, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just like.
So you're saying
But
that
but
I'm not a
again, this is
threatening.
I
I'm
agree
not
with
a
E too,
savage
right?
man. Is what
This
you're
is
saying.
where it is, right? This is where the line's drawn, bro. Like, if you actually make me feel threatened, then
Right.
it's a different story. It is not like if we are face to face and you make me feel threatened and I take your life, brother, you threatened me. You made me feel threatened. It's a
Right.
different thing, right? But again, just calling somebody a name doesn't justify feeling threatened, and you would have a hard time proving that in court.
Right. All right. I think we've landed at a reasonable. This is the free speech, the power of free speech. We landed at a reasonable conclusion.
Just to respond to the last thing. Yeah, bro. If they're in your face, you can do that. But if they make a threat at their home, you can't mobilize to their home and kill them before they get you.
I mean, some people, they threaten a lot of shit. They talk.
Yes,
they get in
that's-
DMs.
That's legal, brother. They threaten to kill you and they're in your face. That's legal and fits my framework for legality beyond the legal system. That is what I believe is right. If you are in a place, we are beside each other, you threaten to kill me, I'm thinking you're going to fucking kill me. We're here.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Context is a huge thing.
Context is important. But I think the only real solution here is when you say something wrong, we check your real ID and we make sure that you're a citizen of this country. And if you're not, you're getting kicked out.
Do you guys have
we
it?
were getting the
Deported.
social credit score first.
Do you have the real ID? Do you have one already?
No, I mean I have a passport. Is that a real ID?
Oh, yeah,
What the
you're
fuck even
fine.
is a real ID? Like
It's
I'm like
literally it's literally an ID just to get on planes inside the United
man,
States.
fuck. How about this? In
But
the
you have a
TSA,
passport. You'll be
fuck-
fine. You'll be fine with a passport.
Ban the FAA, ban the TSA, no more ID shit. I'm over it. All right, you
Bro,
dumbasses,
it's
go up there
$60,
and fucking
bro.
do your jobs and find these terrorists. I'm
We
sick
have to
of it,
spend
man.
$60 to go get an ID here in Arizona. The reason they're doing it is probably because of Arizona solely, because we have IDs that don't expire for like ever. My ID expires in 2060, bro. Do you know how different I'll look than my photo ID?
Then just say, hey, everybody, to get on a plane, you need a passport. Done. And then everybody will get a passport. Like, I don't understand. What the fuck is a real ID? Like, why is it? So now I gotta have 3 forms of identification. I gotta have a driver's license, I gotta have a passport, and then I gotta have a real ID.
No, you don't need your real ID if you have your passport, bro. If you have your passport is The passport is everything. If you,
But
but
then why-
that means you have
why-
to carry your passport around with you, and
yeah,
that's different.
dude, that should be the
having-
case, man. I actually do agree with. I'm like, I mean, I think you should just have a license. Personally, I don't think you should have any of this shit. But I'm just saying, like, if you need another form of verification, then every American should get a fucking passport. Like, oh, you know, my
Honestly-
friends, I'm like, let's go on this trip to fucking
Why?
Mexico. Oh, I don't have a passport.
Honestly, Americans shouldn't have to pay for a passport. That's something that I think we should talk about. Why the fuck do we pay for a passport?
Right. It should just be issued.
That
Just
should
like a
be
license,
issued.
right?
A
Well, I guess you pay
standard
for a
issued
license.
thing.
Bro,
Fine,
bro,
whatever.
bro. If you've gotten an ID since 2005, the act was passed in 2005.
Right.
So you should be able to access flights inside the United States right now with your normal ID.
Yeah.
No, because here I don't want to drop my whole driver's license, but we
Nah,
have different licenses that are there's a star on the real ID in Arizona. This is just a basic driver's license, but the real ID has a little star. And this one says on the top, not valid for official federal purposes. This ID says that on the ID. So
Just
they-
the passport. I see
right.
what you're saying.
Yeah, if I got a passport, I wouldn't need a real ID. I could just use my passport.
Just everybody get a passport. You should just get a passport so you can travel to Mexico if you want to go on vacation in Cancun and have you some buzz balls and tequila. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you drink buzz balls in Mexico, bro? Oh my god.
I remember seeing, but I saw where not in Cancun, but in Puerto Vallarta.
Bro's gonna go to a culture known for its food and eat McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in Mexico long enough, like actually there's in Puerto Vallarta, there's a dope steak place and it was cheap as hell and it had the best steak. I miss it. I really miss it. I hear what you're saying, E, in the chat. I do think that's probably the goal. Get everybody on a real ID. But then why get everybody? Is it a chip? Are they going to put it in your hand or something? Like I don't know. Just seems very Orwellian to me and unnecessary.
They already have that shit in your hand.
Well, check this out, guys. So I got my ID. It was issued in 2024, so just last year. I had the option to get this or a real ID, and the real ID is like $60, bro. Bro, that's how much it is for a fucking passport.
It may just be a scam, man. It may just be,
a money grab, bro.
Yeah, money grab.
They said that the ID must have this. Any ID after 2005 must have this for security reasons, brother. Because of 9/11. This is why bro. Honestly, fuck these.
That's why I think it's just Arizona. I think Arizona is one of the main culprits in why we're doing this, because we have IDs that last so fucking long till 2060, bro. Do you know what I will look like in 2060?
Oh, so
I
yeah.
see. So they want you to update the ID, but then just update the ID.
Nah,
just invalidate all current IDs by a certain day, and then say after that date, by this date you have to get a new Arizona license that has blah blah.
No.
Or just if you want to get on a plane, you gotta have a passport.
They have it. It's not a conspiracy anymore. They have that to open doors and shit, bro. I think you can buy it on Temu now. But you can definitely use your phone, bro. There's now advertisement on your phone that knows if you don't watch it and it stops the video.
Listen, I bet you also, though, check this out. To get a real ID is similar verification of a passport. To get a regular ID is not hard. To get like a regular driver's license or ID, it's not hard. But to get the whatever real ID, you have to bring in like 2 forms of mail plus your social security card and a birth certificate. Like you have to bring in. And so maybe it has to do with verification.
So this is for illegals. That's what this is for.
That could be what it's
that's
for.
What it
that's
is.
What I'm
it's because if you're a citizen, you can get a passport and same deal, right? But if you're not a citizen, then that's where they want you to get some kind of identification that they can confirm is legit, because they don't trust state passports or state
IDs.
Licenses.
Yes. So the real ID is probably a new system that's like a federal database tied to the states so that they have their own database and they're giving out IDs to people on the federal level through the state. But it's still branded with the state. It still says like where it still says in Arizona. It looks exactly like the Arizona driver's license, but it has the verification star on.
They're trying to get away from state IDs. Yeah, that's what's going on. They want to get away from state IDs. I'm uncomfortable, man, because it's like it's just another federal. If they do, okay, here's the deal. If they do the real ID and it replaces your driver's license, even though I don't like that,
that is what it is.
Oh, so it's going to replace driver's licenses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
not
what
gonna
he's
be
saying.
licenses.
Yeah, it's
he's
the
saying,
same.
like,
It's the same thing as a driver's license. It
edit.
just has the little star on the top that is like a federal star, approved star kind of thing. It's like a sheriff star.
Is it gold?
It is gold. Yes.
Oh my God. No.
People are going to get it just for that.
No real ID then. I'm not getting no gold stars anywhere on me. All right. We ain't
exactly. They're going to aggregate all of them onto your real ID, your health, anything, all the things.
Yeah. I don't like it. You know what? Wild West. No IDs for nothing. You can be Billy the Kid. You can live a life of revelry and murder and terror, and then disappear and have a normal life. Okay, so which one's which?
So do you see this little star? Oh, they got rid of the gold. They just updated it to this new driver's license design. It used to be a gold star. So this is the real ID. Okay. My driver's license looks exactly like this, except I don't have that star in the corner right here. So that star, that 5-pointed star, is the federal. And notice how it doesn't say not for federal purposes. Mine right here it says not for federal purposes.
Hold on. Let me just see what Grok says about what is the justification for the real ID. Let's see. Preventing fraud. It establishes minimum security standards for state-issued driver's licenses and IDs to reduce identity fraud and ensure accurate identification. Counterterrorism. Okay, and the controversies are overreach, right? What does Massey have to say? What's Massey's objection? Because if Massey doesn't like it, I tend to be 100% with Massey. I'm pretty much everything that guy ever says. So if he don't like it, I need to know why. But oh man, we've been going a little while here. Might want to kind of let's just see what what's going on with Massey. What does he have to say? Thomas Massey's reasoning against real ID. Government overreach. Thomas Massey argues the Real ID Act, enforced starting May 7th, 2025, functions as a de facto national ID system, infringing on personal freedoms by centralizing control over identification, like we said. Ineffectiveness against terrorism. Ineffective. He contends it won't prevent terrorism, as motivated individuals will still obtain the fraudulent documents or bypass security, rendering the system's benefits questionable. Yep. That's legit. Privacy and surveillance risks. Massey warns that the required data sharing between states and federal agencies could enable government surveillance, tracking citizens' movements without sufficient oversight. It's Orwellian, bros. Unnecessary burden. He views the mandate as an inconvenience for law-abiding citizens, the people who follow the law, forcing compliance with costly and complex ID requirements without clear justification. That's right. It's making us all criminals, the people who do the good things. It's like gun control laws. It just punishes the people who are already obeying the law. All right, he convinced me. I'm against it. Christy Nome, shame on you. Or I don't know who's pushing her to do that, but
it's $50. It's $50 for me to get a real ID. It's $25 for the cost plus an additional $25 to cover additional security features.
Yeah. It was bullshit, man. I'm tired of this shit. Listen, I want zero taxes. Get rid of the IRS and the Federal Reserve. How many enemies am I going to make on this show? And the Federal Reserve. Get rid of the IRS. What else are we doing? No more wars overseas. and end the drug war. What else? Let's just come on. What are we doing here? I don't know. All I know is, bros, is this has been a great episode. We talked about a lot of things. I enjoyed it immensely. Give you all a toast. I'm gonna give who am I giving a toast? I'm gonna give Massey a toast. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give I don't know. I think that's about it.
I'm gonna give E a toast
E
for debating from the comments.
That's right. I'm sorry, E. I just didn't want that. We gotta figure out a better way to design that thing. It was just like it was like up in my face. When you get in my face, E, just watch out. You better watch out.
Look, I just want to respond to that last thing, bro. What justifies that? LOL, the law. No, I think that the law in what we were talking about is justified by morals, and so is free speech.